Well, welcome to Crow and Client here today with a daily energetic check-in. We are doing a pick a card for you today using the Weeds and Witches Oracle. Okay, so pile number one, this is your image I would like you to focus on. This is your card of focus. And we're going to use the Mermaid Tarot for this deck. Pile number two, this is your card of focus. And we're going to use the Wandering Star Tarot. And pile number three, this is your card of focus. And we're going to use the Witch of the Forest Tarot Magic here, okay? Go with whatever image resonates with you the most, and I will see you in your pile. Welcome, pile number one, and your card of focus is On the Threshold and number 36. Okay. It's a pretty card, isn't it? We've got the fennel hanging on the door, representing our weeds, right? The threshold. We have this interesting character sitting on top. I like this image. I like it a lot. There's a lot of potential there, right? So when we get this card, it's really asking, where do you come from? Okay. And the fennel on the door is there because it protects the new beginnings at this new door, right? New beginnings at this door, I guess I should say. So it recognizes changing landscapes and it oversees those being born, all right? And then there's you. You're the one on the threshold. You're no longer there, but you're not quite here yet, okay? It's impossible to know what you're going to find. But when you decide to move, something comes with you, right? That spirit of that fennel, that protection. So you may not see this protective force, but it does accompany you wherever you go. It's a silent presence that watches you but doesn't hold you back. It merely observes, okay, and protects. This is a card that says you know that you're ready. You know that you're ready to cross this threshold, whatever it is. Do it. And just know that you are protected, right? You have the protection of the fennel, and then you have this presence with you. You are protected. It's go time. It's go time. Because you haven't been either here nor there, right? Maybe you've been in limbo for a little bit, trying to decide what the next step is, okay? Now I have the Mermaid Tarot. We're going to go ahead and dig into this message. Just felt appropriate to go with this sort of watery goodness, since we're all about water with this card. It's sort of an ebb and flow. Do I stay? Do I go? It's time to cross the threshold. And only you know what that means for you, okay? So I want to thank everyone for being here. Super honored to be able to bring you these messages today. I hope you're all doing well. It's a little chilly here, rainy. But I like it. I love rain. So, what do we got going on here? Crossing this threshold. You are crossing, you are ready. You are ready. This card indicates that you're ready. You are ready. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so you're crossing the threshold, and it's going to bring you to this financial independence, right? Solid foundation in the material world. I like that this character is kind of almost emerging out of this wishing well, right? Coming up out of the water. This character's coming out of the door. Okay, it's a threshold. So whatever this is the nature of, it's leading to this stable foundation for you. Now the nines are solitary energy. So this is something that you've worked really hard for you. Okay, and you may have sacrificed a lot of other things in your life, including relationships, that kind of thing, to stay focused. All right, but this is for you. This is your financial independence. This is your financial freedom. This is where you get to exhale and know that you're going to be okay. All right. Now this could be finances, property, investments, any of that kind of thing, but it's really what you've worked towards. Okay. What you're working for. In your energy is the Tower. Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me, because if you're crossing a threshold, you're emerging into this place where you can sort of exhale and breathe, maybe coming out of a long, hard struggle. Of course, you're going to have a Tower moment, right? It's going to change everything for you. And that means the Tower comes down. It's a realignment to your next course, to the next leg of your journey. In that case, we rebuild. And your foundation will be stronger because it's going to be more aligned with your situation as it changes, right? So we leave the old behind and make room for the new to come in. Keep in mind we have the Three of Swords, okay? So yeah, there's going to be some heartache, right? Some sorrow, some sadness, heartbreak. Not always a great feeling. So that it may be bittersweet, this move. You may have to leave some people behind. You may, with this Tower. You know, and sometimes, you guys, the Tower happens when we're kind of avoiding a shift that we need to make. And if we avoid it long enough, the universe just makes it happen for us. Okay? Now remember that our card of focus says you are ready. Even if you don't think you are ready for whatever this change is, whatever this important shift is, into this next realm, into the next leg of your journey, into what is for you. It's time. Oh yeah, under that Nine of Pentacles is the Ten of Cups. So this is all about so much joy and happiness, contentment, okay? It's about family, friends, your community, right? This is enough abundance of love and magic and joy for everyone around you. This is your emotional wish fulfillment. You're going to be real happy, right? You're going to share the joy. You're going to share the joy. And maybe it'll inspire other people. Under the Tower, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay? Keep going. You've mastered something. You're almost to the Nine. You're almost to the Nine, right? This is really cool that this came out in your energy, because you are almost there. You know, and you've mastered something, a skill. Maybe you haven't quite figured out what that is yet, but you have. And so a lot of times the Eight of Pentacles, which is also kind of that worker bee card, like put your head down and keep going, right? Talks about taking that skill, and noticed, you know, this figure has all of the pentacles in her hands there. So this does have to do with your material world foundation. But taking something that you've learned about that and applying it to other things in your life. Okay, seeing if that's an equation that can work with other things. Now, I like this particular Eight of Pentacles because it looks like it's a community effort as well, right? The frog is carrying the berries. You know, she's got money, and all of these other characters are helping out in some ways. Like everybody has their own little part to play in this. So this may be a joint effort for something. You may need to rely on other people at this point for this next step to get you to that Nine. So don't give up. Keep going. You're almost there. All right. And it might feel a little weird to be, you know, to have this tower moment and to understand that you've got to keep working, right? It might feel a little bit different, but you can do it. There are really great cards here. Now I know we have this Three of Swords, this heartache, this heartbreak, and that is something to keep in mind, right? We have the Four of Pentacles coming out under the Three of Swords. Yeah. So you may have removed yourself from certain situations, right? The Four is about, it can be about just holding on and waiting, right? Maybe cinching the belt, maybe budgeting a little bit, but it definitely is an energy of just holding on. Now this mer person has brought themselves out to this rock in this waterfall. So that's sort of a detached energy. You know, typically the Four of Pentacles is a character that has turned its back on, you know, the city or you know, whatever consumerism world behind them, right? So it can be miserly as well, but I don't get the sense that that is what this is about, especially in relation to this Ten of Cups, which is all about sharing. So right now you're just kind of holding on. You might be holding your breath. Maybe you're not sure that this is going to work out well, but it is. Okay, I'm here to tell you it is. Yeah, this Three of Swords. You know, when I was talking about the Nine of Pentacles there and how the Nine of Pentacles often will kind of forfeit relationships, you know, sacrifice relationships to stay focused on, you know, building that material world foundation. You know, that can definitely be what this Three of Swords is maybe you've had to sacrifice relationships to get to this point, and maybe now you feel like you're ready. Maybe that's what this Tower is about. Maybe you're going to be ready, right? We have the Sun coming out. Yeah. Financial independence, your emotional wish fulfillment, and then the Sun. This is just life force energy. The Sun takes away all the scary shadows. It makes everything so clear. It brings in this incredible understanding. There's a lot of joy and happiness when the sun's out, right? Everybody goes outside. We play. We run around. We gaze at the sun. Well, if you're a sun gazer. Bask in the sun. Sunbathe. Right? Beautiful. Okay. So to me, I feel like this Tower is going to take away this heartache. It's going to show you a different path that maybe you didn't think was achievable. Okay? You're ready to cross the threshold. Maybe you had to get to a certain point of healing or of preparing yourself, your mind and your body and your heart to move forward, right? In your energy. Yep, the Four of Swords. So this is kind of a cosmic timeout in my mind, okay? It's resting and recovering. It's preparing yourself for this next leg of your journey. Get some rest because beautiful things are about to happen for you, okay? This is an amazing shift. An amazing shift. Walking through this threshold. Under that Four of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Swords. Truth, clarity, cutting to the truth. That the sword pierces the veil into the material world, right? And it clears all that doubt, confusion, right? Fear, clears it all up. This is huge clarity. And I love that it's kind of coming out, you know, in the keep in mind for the Sun card. The Sun brings in clarity. The sword brings in truth and clarity, honesty, dignity, self-honor, right? Stepping into the truth of the matter, right? Yeah, rest while you can. This shift is big. I mean, you're already going through this Tower moment, okay? You may need to rely on some of your community, but keep working. Get some rest. Prepare yourself because good things are coming for you, okay? You're ready to go. And remember, you are protected. You have this presence with you, okay? I think this is your presence, the High Priestess. Not afraid to work with the mystical, magical, with the energy of the moon, stepping into the shadows, speaking with the spirit world, with the divine, whatever that means for you. Not afraid to tap dance in two worlds, which is interesting because you're not here or there yet. You're kind of on this threshold. And I think that the High Priestess really plays around with that threshold a lot. So maybe this is you. Or this is the presence around you that is allowing you this protection. All right. We have the King of Cups coming out. They both came out together, so I took them. So there may be someone coming in for you, right? The King of Cups is very loving, compassionate, caring, you know, because this Nine of Pentacles has sort of foregone relationships. And you're at a point where that is something that you feel like you can have now. In comes this King of Cups. Now, change genders is needed, okay? Someone's coming in to show you that this brokenhearted sadness was just that event, right? That there's more out there, there's better out there, there's relationships out there that aren't like that. Okay, you're about to see the world in a completely different way. You're very, very open. You're about to be very, very open as you cross this threshold. All right. We have the 5. Wow, we have the 3, 4. No, we don't. We have, never mind. We have the 4 and the 5 of Pentacles. So, you know, this is also a card of struggle and hardship, right? So you probably, and I think we just talked about this earlier, that you probably have struggled to get to this 9 that's coming in for you, that's about to happen for you. I mean, it's quite possible. Now, with this is kind of, so there's this safety around these 5 coins here, right? This person is trying to show you that there is safety here, but you're turning away from it. There's an understanding with the 5 of Pentacles. Remember, 5s are breakthroughs, but there's an understanding here that even though this represents some sort of foundational safety for you, it's not in alignment with you. That's why you walk away. That's why you hide your face from it. That's why you choose a different path. And that path does lead to some struggles. It does lead to some hardships. But it is breakthrough energy, because what it did by making the decision to walk away from something that was perceived as safe and secure for you, you've allowed the energy of this 9 of Pentacles to come in, okay? I think the 5 of Pentacles, it takes a lot of courage to walk away, to allow those feelings of you know, this wasn't really fair, I'm feeling left out in the cold now, knowing full well that it was your decision to walk away, okay? It opened up space for something new to come in. And sometimes that transition from one thing to the next isn't always a smooth transition. It can be bumpy, it can be hard. But if you know what you want and you know the direction you're going, it can happen for you. And this reading is showing you that this can actually absolutely happen for you, okay? Absolutely happen for you, yeah. Yep, we have the Chariot coming out for you. So this is overcoming obstacles. You are overcoming obstacles. Look, they're harnessing the seahorse here. Overcoming obstacles, preparing to do this, right? This is all sort of preparation to step into this energy over here. The 7 of Cups came out with that as well. I'm going to allow it because I think these are all the opportunities that are waiting for you on the other side of this door. Okay? You are protected and you do not walk alone. This is meant for you. All right? pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here. Hit that thumbs up button if any of this resonated with you. Share with a bestie, and I will see you next time. Welcome, pile number 2. And your card of focus is number 34, and Memories Song. Such a beautiful card. Okay, so Memory Song is about the Siren Witch sitting here on this beautiful big fish, right? Fish in her hair, melodies, haunting melodies playing in the background, right? So where do we meet the Siren Witch? Do we meet the Siren Witch in a dream? Do we meet the Siren Witch in a song? The Siren Witch is about melodies, right? Memory Song. Maybe it's both. So there's an ancient melody that reminds you of dormant feelings, dormant memories, right? And the musical memory cradles us, holding the words never spoken that have dissolved into the waters of time. These words are keys to opening doors of the present, okay? So listen to the song of the siren. She doesn't want to take you away. She just wants to lead you inside yourself, right? And by doing that, that is not meant to anchor you to who you once were, but it's to awaken you to who you are today. The siren song is going to bring in a remembrance for you. It's going to remind you of who you are today. It's going to be really familiar, and it's probably going to come to you in a song, in a melody. I heard where was I the other day? I think I was at a thrift store. Anyway, and there was a music box, and oh my gosh, it took me right back to a time as a kid, right? So I think that the advice of this card is when that happens, when you hear that song, when you hear those words, and it brings up those emotions, follow them. Follow them back, trace them back, understand the source. There's something there you're meant to remember. And if it takes you to a time and a place in your life, what was happening at that time? What were your goals and dreams at that time? There's something there. There's a key to opening the door to the next, your next level, your next journey, your next adventure. And it's all meant to awaken you to who you are now. Okay, it's like a little piece of a puzzle. Oh, I love this card. I love this card. I'm going to go put music on after this. Because music is like that, right? It brings up so much emotion. You know, when we hear an old song that reminds us of like prom or, you know, some fun thing that we did as kids, or you know, a vacation you went on, or a relationship you were sometimes all, okay, not all songs bring up joy, but they are a remembrance. And I do think it's really important to follow that emotion to its source, to find that key. There's that key, the key. So anyway, sorry, I can go on and on. I have the Wandering Star, okay, because you are about to wander into yourself, right? The siren witch is going to take you inside yourself to figure something out. So thank you so much for being here. I am honored to be able to bring you this message today. Where are we going? Well, I mean, we're going inside. And right out of the gate, we have the World card, okay? Completion. You're completing a cycle, right? Let's put a little bit of clothing on her. So YouTube, here we go for sparkles. YouTube doesn't have a fit. Yeah, you're completing a cycle. This is completing a karmic cycle successfully, right? It's about taking the time to reap the rewards, to let the, absorb the success of what you've done. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself some kudos. We're always so ready to congratulate someone or tell someone they've done a good job, but we forget to do it for ourselves. So I think that that's really important here as well. Completing a cycle. This is the nature of, all right? So in your energy, you have the Knight of Swords, highs and lows, conflict, tension. The Knight of Swords is really fast-moving energy, and it can be a little bit rash. So I think you're meant to slow down. Pump the brakes. Okay? Now, the Knight of Swords is also not afraid to take action either, okay? So there's always two sides to the cards, right? They're not afraid to take action, and they're not concerned with the consequences, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. I mean, if you're a firefighter, you rush into a burning building. That's your job. But other times that sort of rushing in energy can be, not so great if we're not considering the outcomes. So basically, yeah, there's some tension. There's some tension happening right now for you. Keep in mind, Star card. Maybe you're feeling like you're not getting what you need, and so you're reaching out and you're just trying this, trying that, trying to find something externally to figure this out, right? To figure out what the next steps are. But we have the Star coming out in regards to the world. So you are ending a cycle. And once you find this key, right? Because this Star is also about that inner guidance, your guiding light, inspiration, faith, hope, miracles, infinite energy, right? And we do carry that guiding light within us. The memory song, that Siren Witch, is going to lead you to the key to your dreams, desires, wishes, goals, something that you really, really wanted, right? So you're completing a cycle here. Something is going to lead you to the key to the your next journey, your next adventure. It feels very karmic because it's bringing you back to authentic you. It's bringing you back to who you are now. Seven of Cups. Possibilities. You have many, many doors ahead of you that are going to be opened up. Okay? You may want to rush through them all with that Knight of Swords. Don't do that. Go within yourself. Figure out. Follow those emotions. Follow those dreams and emotions. Figure out the source. Okay? It's the piece of the puzzle. It's a remembrance. There's a remembrance that's meant to happen here. Yep. Tower moment. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah. You're completing a cycle. Something new is beginning, and when we begin something new, we cannot take our current tower with us, right? That tower has to come down, and we have to rebuild in alignment with who we are now, right? Siren's Witch is trying to lead you to who you are now. Then we rebuild. So this is okay. This is just a realignment. This is preparing you for the next journey, for the next adventure. It is all about you. Here, please shut up. Oh, my back is hurting a little bit today. All right. Yeah. Ooh. It feels like it's going to be kind of tumultuous, this energy right now. But if you pay attention and follow that song, we have the Two of Pentacles coming out with harmony and balance. Yeah, it's going to bring you back into alignment, period. Okay? You gotta follow it though. You've gotta follow it. And it doesn't mean that it's gonna be easy. It means that you really need to stay in the truth of the matter, stay in the truth of the memory, stay in the truth of who you are at that time to understand who you are now. That's the piece. That's the piece of the puzzle. That's the key to the door to your next adventure. This is really cool. Wow, we have the King of Swords too. Ambitious, power, influence. Okay, there's a lot of logic here. Yeah, you're gonna have to stay in the truth. You're gonna have to be real honest with yourself. Okay, this is all about honor, truth, and honesty. This king has earned the right to sit on this throne. There's strategy, critical thinking, communication. There may be something with communication here as well. Stay in the truth. Follow that. Follow the memory. Follow the emotion back. When you hear this melody, follow it back. Wow. In your energy, you have the King of Cups. So this is a big heart. Empathetic, warm-hearted, intuitive, charismatic. Okay. This is who you are. Before this Tower, oh, conflicted highs and lows, tense, anxious, whatever. Kind of flitting here and there. Tower happens. Boom. It's bringing back in that love and compassion in your life, right? Maybe you haven't been so loving and compassionate to yourself. Wow. Yeah, I feel you. It's hard when we have so many things that we have to do and we're overwhelmed and we have so many people to take care of and we forget about ourselves. We put ourselves last all the time, you guys. And that needs to stop. We have the Page of Pentacles coming out. Talent, skill, money. So it's fresh energy. So you're going to have a new approach to your material world foundation. Okay, now it is young, fresh energy. Pages represent youthful characters, children, young adults, right? But this page, the page has very analytical adult mind when it comes to strategizing material world foundations, money, finances, investments, property, all those things. Okay, so you're figuring out a new way forward once you get through this. Once you get back to yourself, once you find that little piece to the puzzle. So please pay attention. You're going to hear a melody. You're going to hear something that reminds you of something. Follow that emotion. Follow that memory, okay? Take it all the way back. Understand who you were at that time. What were your wishes, dreams, and goals back then? What did you want to be when you grew up? And I'm not saying it's going to take you that far back, but just understanding who you are or who you were there is, like I said, and I know I keep repeating myself, is going to help you understand who you are now. And here comes the sun for you. Light, life, energy. The sun is going to shine on you, my friend. It almost feels like a aha moment when you find it. When you find it. Yeah, look at that. Yay, because you had the ending of the World here and the Fool is both coming out in the same reading. So yeah, awesome. You're going to be starting this new journey sooner than you think. This little piece of the puzzle, you're going to find it sooner than you think. And it's going to, I feel like it's going to bring in some clarity for you. I say bring in clarity and the moon comes out. Okay, so the moon shows that there are still going to be some things hidden. And obviously, you can't know every step to this new journey, right? That's part of the fun. It's not always the destination. It's the path that we choose to take, right? But the moon reminds us to pay attention to our dreams, our intuition. Don't be afraid to walk in the shadows, okay? We learn a lot about ourselves in the shadows. And this is probably where you're going to have to go. Maybe, I don't know, have you ever like gone to sleep and then when you wake up, you've got a song in your head? I do that all the time. I will wake up sometimes like singing a song in my head. And I don't know how it got there, right? Maybe it's going to be something like that if the moon is talking about dreams and intuition. You're going to know. When it shows up, you're going to know. And we have the Creator. So this is one of the bonus cards in this deck, in the Wandering Star deck. But it says no on the bottom, but it says no because you have to learn how to say no and be okay with saying no. There are some things you're going to have to say no to, right? Look, you have all the 7 of Cups over here, all of these possibilities, and they're all going to look really good for you once you go begin this new journey, and you're going to have really good boundaries, okay? Healthy boundaries, and you're going to have to say no to some things. Even if you want to try all the flavors of the ice cream, you can only pick 3, right? You're going to have to say no to however many other ones there are. Okay, that's a weird example. Apparently someone wants ice cream right now. So, healthy boundaries as you move forward. Okay, and this is all coming back to paying attention to whatever melody this is that's going to take you to a remembrance, right? All right, pile number 2, this is your message. Thank you so much for being here. Hit that thumbs up button if any of this resonates with you. Subscribe, share with your besties, and I'll see you next time. Welcome, pile number 3, and your card of focus is number 29, and the Pearl Veil. The Pearl Veil. Now, the plant on this card is the Lunaria. Okay, and when it blooms in the springtime, it's these really pretty purple flowers. Okay, and then by the time the season is over for this particular plant, it has these sort of silvery, thin, they're like seed pods, basically. It's the seeds of the plant. Okay, and I think the flower is kind of purple. Anyway, it's a really, really beautiful, beautiful plant. So the Lunaria waits for time to do its work, right? And only then will it open the thin veil that protects its transparency, the hidden fruit inside, right? The seeds. So when this card comes up for you, you are also crossing something thin, almost invisible, okay? A veil, a thin veil, the pearl veil. Okay, now notice that she's standing in water. Okay, so in the water that envelopes this character, or envelops this character, sorry, there is a voice that calls to look beyond. Okay, so let the veil shift. Look beyond the current situation. Look beyond what is, holding your focus right now. Look past that. And it may be hard. Sometimes it's a bittersweet thing. Understanding where we are and knowing that we have to look past it in order to figure out how to move forward, right? See what's on the other side. Maybe that reflection is just your face. Okay? Or a face that resembles you, So it's really about a situation that you have going on right now that maybe you feel like you can't move. Maybe you feel like there's not an answer. Maybe there's just an unknown about how to proceed. Okay? Look beyond it. If you look beyond it, how is it going to be if you continue in this situation? How is it going to be if you let something go? How is it going to be if you protect or stand up for yourself? How is it going to be if you stay in self-honor and self-love? How is it going to be if you give everything to the situation? So, do you see what I'm getting at? This card, energy of this card, is allowing you a look into the future. All you have to do is just cross this thin veil. It's going to give you some clarity, okay? You're going to see yourself in the future in different situations, right? This is your reflection in the beautiful moon, right? The moon is unknown. This is allowing you the opportunity to do that, this energy of this card today. All right. I'm not sure what's going on. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, but it does really feel like that's the energy of this reading today. So I do have the Witch of the Forest Tarot, so we're going to dig on into this message for you. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're all doing well. I'm super honored to be able to bring you this message here today. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the collective. Flex that discernment muscle. You'll know if this is for you. Trust your intuition, right? This is how we build our intuition. This is how we rely more and more on our intuition and ourselves, is by practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Wow, justice incoming. Okay, so whatever the situation that you're in right now, I mean, there is a balancing of the scales of justice coming. Okay. Depending on what side of that sword you're on, only you can decide. Karmic balance, karmic balance in your energy. Yeah, I mean, this is the Four of Cups. It's a card of awareness, boredom, discontent sometimes. It's a card of, it can be a card of frustration too, or apathy, right? I just don't care anymore. I've had all these cups and none of them worked. But there's one cup still. All you have to do is open your eyes. It's right there. Okay. This person is sitting right in front of it, legs crossed, eyes closed, and it's literally right there. It's like huge, so much bigger than these other cups. So there is something around you right now. There is an answer, right? Maybe this person is with their eyes closed, you know, crossing a thin veil to see what they need to do. Who knows? It kind of has a little bit of that energy, I think. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this justice incoming has to do with your material world foundation. There's some strategizing going on. The Knight is very, very strategic in how to build, but it's also really, really slow moving. Slow moving. So that you may be working towards something, or something's coming towards you. It does have to do with this Justice card. Maybe there's some money coming your way, property, maybe an inheritance, investment, that kind of thing. That's interesting, because I mean, that could be what the situation is. Only you know what your situation is. All I can tell you is what the cards are saying. Open your eyes. You need to be aware right now, okay? Underneath the Justice card, we have the High Priestess. Okay, now the High Priestess is not afraid to work with the mystical, magical, to dive into the shadows, to find understanding, right? There's a lot of alchemy with this. A lot of behind the scenes things going on that you may not know about. Okay, this is coming up with this Justice card. So even if you don't think things are moving, there's something moving. There's something in the works, okay? Something in the works. Something in the works. In your energy, we have the Three of Swords. So it's heartache, heartbreak, sorrow, sadness, right? So you've had your heart broken, which it tracks, right? These 3 cups didn't work out, so you're not even paying attention to the next one, right? Because you're just kind of done, maybe. That's a lot of swords to the heart. So these are things that happen to us. These are events, situations that we live through. And the trick is not to allow them to define who we are. This happened, now we move on. That happened, now we move on. We don't allow it to define us. okay? Yeah, you need to look past that. Look past the situation, right? Under that Knight, we have the Ace of Swords. So this is a new beginning with clarity and truth. Huge clarity. Things are going to make so much sense if you can look past it to see what's on the other side. Okay, that's what the Pearl Veil is really about. It's going to help you make better decisions on how to move forward. What's going on behind the curtain with this High Priestess is going to become clear very soon. Very, wow, and the Judgment card. Whew. Assess, awaken, and, assess, accept, and awaken. That's what the Judgment card is about. So this is sort of having a death and rebirth without actually having to leave the physical plane. That's what the Judgment card is about. So you are making a huge shift right now. Okay, there's a huge shift coming for you. And what it's going to take for you to do is look past your current situation. Okay, right now you might be, like I said, you might be feeling a little stuck in it, right? There's a little bit of apathy. There's still some heartache and stuff going on here. You've got to look past that in order to see how to move. You need to move. It's time to move. It's time to have clarity. Okay, it's time to wake up. It is time to wake up. Yeah, you have the Wheel of Fortune in your energy. Yeah, this is karma and destiny. It's just something you had to go through. It's something you had to go through. There's something, and everything that we have to go through, there's something that we learn from it. Okay, and as long as we don't let the pain and the hurt define us, right? And maybe that's what you have to look past. The wheel is turning. The wheel is turning. Whoa. All right. You want it to come out. We have the Hierophant. Institution. Societal norms. A Hierophant can represent ceremony, right? Tradition. This is how we do it. It can be a mentor, possibly a teacher showing up for you. They have the key to something. Okay. You may be, yeah. I was going to say you may be dealing with institution, but I don't think so. I think this is really about getting to the truth, understanding your situation. And this can be something, when I see the Hierophant, it reminds me of the Akashic Records, the halls, the rows of books. And so if we look at it in terms of that, and we're going through this awakening with the Judgment card, this could be, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune here, which is the card of karma and destiny. This could be something that is very karmic, that is like traveled with you through different lives. Maybe it's finally time for you to complete whatever this is, to let it go, to have an understanding. This could be something, a situation, a person, a place, a thing that you have encountered in a lifetime that you haven't quite figured out yet. Okay, that Hierophant might have a key to it. Maybe you need to do a little bit of, maybe you need to take a trip to the Akashic Records, right? And you can do that. Like even on YouTube, there are a lot of guided meditations that take you there. So it might be worth, maybe that's what it means by crossing the thin veil. Maybe you're meant to take a trip to the Akashic Halls, okay? We have the Three of Wands coming out. So this is taking action on the plans of how you want your world to look, right? Maybe you're waiting for some sign, some message coming to you. Sometimes this figure is waiting for a ship to come in. this could be part of what this Justice card is. Is there something, maybe you feel that something's coming, but you can't quite understand because you're not sure what it is, right? Regardless, that is taking action on how you want your world to look. And we have the Fool card coming out. So this is a brand new journey for you. It's going to allow you to take the steps to move forward from where you've been, right? Visit the Akashic Halls, the Akashic Records. Maybe there's an understanding with that alone, that something had to play out in the way that it played out for you. Wow, yep. We have the World card. So you are ending a cycle. Here's your World. Ending a cycle and beginning fresh. Yep. You have to look past your situation. And you have to understand it with truth and honesty too. Not as a narrative to define who you are. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. You have a situation. It's time to look past it. Get yourself out of it. It's going to help you start this new path. There's something really good. Yeah, you've got a decision to make. But it's okay. I like the Two of Swords. You know, a lot of people say that you're blocking the energy and you're refusing to make a decision. I don't think so. I think you're going within. And you're understanding what the decision is. This is an important decision, it feels like. But it is going to lead you to some really, really good things. Look at that. Bottom of the deck, we have the Sun coming out for you. Man, I think the Sun came out in all three piles today, right? Shining a light. And you also have the Six of Swords, which is moving on. I like the Six of Swords. And if you've seen my readings before, you know, it's turning your focus towards the future. It's leaving behind what you need to leave behind and allowing that to dissolve away as you're focusing on your future and the possibilities and the abundance on that distant shore. You are moving into calmer water. It is a card of discovery and exploration. So there's this kind of, at some point on this journey in this boat, as the past is kind of dissolving away, it's replaced with this sort of excitement and anticipation of a brighter future. Of a brighter future, right? So looking past your situation is important right now. Okay, pile number 3, that is your message. Thank you so much for being here. Hit that thumbs up button if any of this resonated for you. Share with your besties, and I'll see you next time.